All right, this is a brief overview of Reserve for engineering candidates who know almost nothing about what we're doing so that you can orient on what the heck we are basically. So Reserve has an app which is described on this webpage. It's in Spanish because we're focused on going to market in Latin America right now, mainly Venezuela and Argentina. So it says the account in dollars that everyone can have. We allow people to exchange currencies in and out of US dollars in a few minutes. So you can move money in from Venezuelan bolivars, from Argentine pesos, from Colombian pesos, and then also in and out from US dollars in Panama and in the US. We allow with the app people to make payments with those other currencies. So you can have a reserve dollar balance, like a US dollar balance in the app, and then you can make payments to a third party that isn't even a reserve user, and they'll receive one of those other currencies. So you can make a Venezuelan bolivar payment even if you're someone who doesn't have a Venezuelan bolivar bank account. And this is pretty handy. A bunch of our users use this for different things. And then you can send reserve dollars back and forth pretty quickly and for free. It's very similar to Venmo or Cash App. And then a big thing that a lot of our users do with the app is just to save money, to save in dollars, because the Venezuelan bolivar and the Argentine peso both tend to lose value against the dollar, sometimes very quickly, sometimes slowly. And so a lot of people in those two countries use US dollars to save. And that's something that we've made a whole lot more accessible with this app than it tends to be with the other informal systems that people have to deal with. So the app has been out for about a year now, but it's been in closed beta until just a week ago. So it's done well. It's growing in popularity. You can see, a little bit of indication with the number of reviews that have come in. And we were excited because recently, this past week, when we opened it up, we got to #1 on the Play Store in Venezuela for finance apps, just in terms of the number of downloads that we were getting. So we're seeing very clear indication of interest and usage. And we're at the point where, even though the numbers are still small for our user population overall, because we're still very early on, we have millions of dollars of transactions flowing through the app every week at this point. So we're seeing really clear usage and really strong signs of product market fit at this point. We're pretty comfortable declaring product market fit. And we're really focused on scaling that product and improving it to be able to serve and reach a wider audience. This is our Spanish speaking Twitter account. So you can see, a little over 20,000 followers. Those are all organic. So that's sort of a quick indication of the community size so far for app users. Reserve kind of does two things right now. So we've made a cryptocurrency that is, it's called a stable coin is the term in crypto, which is a token that is stable against something else. In our case, it's backed by US dollars. So the way the Reserve token works right now is it's a combination of these three other stable coins. If you're in crypto, you'll recognize these logos. If not, you won't. Don't worry about that. Basically, each one of these is backed 1-to-1 with US dollars in American bank accounts. We aggregate them together for a little bit of diversification and for a few other reasons in order to create the Reserve token. These other logos here kind of indicate that the way our protocol works, these collateral assets are flexible. So if one of these were to have troubles of some kind, it could be swapped out for other stablecoins of equivalent value. And so these stablecoins, the Reserve stablecoins, can be minted and redeemed directly with the blockchain. We have the simple tool, portal.reserve.org, for doing that. I have a demo wallet connected, so you can see I have 60 RSV. That means I have 60 Reserve tokens in my wallet. And so if I wanted to, I could type a number here and redeem, and then that would increase my balance for these collateral assets. Or I could do the same thing in reverse to generate more Reserve tokens. So I would take these collateral assets, I'd type a number here, and it uses 1/3 of each of these tokens for every Reserve token that you mint. So that can all be done in a couple of minutes. You have to pay the Ethereum gas fees to do that. And so I won't do it right now, but that's a basic decentralized minting and redeeming portal for RSV, and anyone can use that. And the way that stablecoin works, the current version of RSV, is described in this blog post, which was published a while ago. And so you're welcome to come check this out and read it. Medium.com/reserve currency is the URL for our blog. And so basically that just describes, issuance and redemption. There's also a rebalancing protocol. So basically, if there is an issue with one of those stablecoins, anyone can actually propose a rebalance, but then the governors of the network have to approve it. Right now, we hold those governance keys. So rebalancing can't happen unless we approve it. There's actually even further nuance to how the protocol will work in the future. Right now, it's actually quite simple. You can come to reserve.org/protocol and read a bit about how the protocol is going to work in the future. It'll be something like this. I'm not going to go over the details right now, but one important piece is that it's actually a 2-token protocol. So there's the reserve token, which is the stablecoin, and then there's the reserve rights token. And that reserve rights token does exist today. It doesn't have all the functionality that we'll have with that full protocol launch, but it is trading on crypto exchanges. So you can see it has a value of 8 cents. So the market cap of the tokens that are circulating right now is a little over $1 billion. And the market cap of all the tokens that exist, which is 100 billion of them, is a little over $8 billion at the time of making this video. As you can see, this price is really volatile. And here we're even looking at the log chart. If we switch this to the normal chart, you can see, prices move quite a lot in crypto. Crypto markets are up right now. They could go back down in the future. The reason for me sharing this is just to show that there is significant trading volume. There is significant exchange listings for the reserve rights token. And that's relevant to us as a project because we're in crypto and because this token is trading, we've done well in crypto markets. We have a really long cash runway. And so for you as an engineering candidate, the way that comes in is we can offer competitive cash salaries. We can pay you in reserve rights tokens that are locked or in cash, depending on your preference. And we have many, many, many years of cash runway. And so we're not in the normal sort of circumstance of needing to fundraise sometime in the next 6 months or anything like that. We can just basically focus on doing the project right as fast as we can, but not going crazy over it. This is the English-speaking Reserve Twitter account. You can see we're a little over 60,000 followers, so that's kind of an indication that we basically have more people following the project on a speculative basis right now who are holding the reserve rights token than people who are using the app. But the app user population has been growing, I would say, faster than the speculator population at this point. But you can come check out our English-speaking Twitter for some, sort of explanations of what we're doing and some news about the project, if you're curious. And then here's a little picture of, what our team Zoom looks like. This is, months out of date. So actually our team is more than twice this size at this point. But just so you can sort of see some of our faces, give a little bit of a human element to this presentation. At this point, the team has, the engineering team has 6 full-time people and 1 part-time person. And the product and engineering team overall is still pretty small and tight-knit, sort of early startup vibe. The team overall is starting to scale. We are close to 60 people. And a lot of those people are in operations and customer support because as more people join our app every day, we have a lot of customers to handle. We have a lot of customer inquiries to handle. The distribution of our team, so we are fully remote. We went fully remote at the beginning of COVID, and we decided to stay that way, in part because we're just destined to be a global project, so we're hiring people all over the globe anyway, and also because it's actually easier for us to coordinate and stay in sync fully remote than having one hub office and then a bunch of people in other places. The team is a little bit less than a quarter spread across the US and a little bit more than 3/4 spread throughout Latin America, with an emphasis on Venezuela and Argentina, but also several other countries are represented. So that's a quick overview of us. And if you find this interesting, I encourage you to hop into our interview process. It'd be great to meet you and learn about how you code and see if you'd be a good fit for the team.